Welcome to the Time Thief deck profile. This is a deck that I've been playing around with for the past few weeks. Really enjoying it, really loving it. I figured I would give a deck profile as to what I'm running. It's pretty standard to what the current builds are for what most people are playing. But there are some differences, some text that I throw in that I haven't really seen going around. I wouldn't say they're necessarily great, but I wouldn't say they're the worst either. So, hope you enjoy what I've got, and hopefully it inspires you to do something similar with it, or at least just get into the deck itself, because the deck is just an amazing time. Let's hop into it. We play 3 Time Thief Winder. This guy searches any Time Thief card, whether it be monster, spell, or trap, from the deck when he's normal or special summoned, which is a really good effect. And while you control an XYZ monster that has material, you can detach one material to special summon him from your hand, which can be really useful for situations if you have him in an opening hand. You might not necessarily get the effect yet again to search a card, but it's still really strong to get monsters on the board, especially when you're making a deck that spams rank 4 monsters. So definitely play 3 of him. He just gets you everything you need. He can set up for next plays if you really open kind of meh. He's a good special summon. All around a great card. Next we run 3 Time Thief Regulator. Regulator is the card you wanna open with. You normal summon this card and then tribute it, and then you special summon at 2 other Time Thief monsters besides Regulator. So you generally go for like Winder and Bezelship or Chronocorder to get them out, and then soup them up into another a rank 4 monster. Continuing on, we have 1 of Bezelship and then 1 of Chronocorder. I would like to bump Bezelship up to 2, just that way you have like one other way if you open up like another regulator. But I find, and most people find, the ratio of these 8 Time Thief monsters to be really, really strong. So Bezelship, when it's in the grave, you can detach material from a monster, summon it from the graveyard. And then with Chronocorder, if a face-up XYZ monster you control leaves the field by card effect, you can special summon it. You can detach the Chronocorder first, and then activate Redoer's effect to banish himself, and then you get to bring back Chronocorder because it was sent by a card effect. We have 1 Rocket Tracer and 1 Rocket Recharger. I've seen people bump Tracer up to 2. I don't really find that, especially now that we have Parallel Sea Dragon. I have it at 1, it's fine at 1, it's just a little extender. And then Rocket Recharger is a really decent pseudo hand trap. If a dark monster is destroyed, or if any number of dark monsters are destroyed, you get to target one of those in the graveyard and then special summon one with a different name than the targeted one from the grave. So ideally you're going to have like Redoer and Perpetua on the field. So if Perpetua gets popped and Redoer gets popped, you target the Perpetua in the graveyard and then summon out the Redoer, because it's a different monster than what you had targeted. Overall, it's a decent card to get it back with, and then you can also just go in for a rank 4, and it's got a 2100 defense, so if you have nothing else but that, you can always just summon it in defense position and hope. 3 Parallel Exceed. This card is super new and super important to the deck. It allows it to special summon itself as a level 4 monster if you control a linked monster, and you can summon it to the zone it points to, and then if it's summoned by its own effect, you get to special summon yet another from the deck, also becoming a level 4 monster, which is super important, and can really help turn like a brick hand into something, because you can just like, we run a decent amount of hand traps, and there's cards that could be dead, so you can go with that, you normal summon, go into All Mirage, and then allow you to special summon Parallel Exceed from your hand, and special summon another one from the deck. Next we have 1 Raid Raptor Singing Lanius. Just got this today. It's super good. It allows you to special summon it if you control an XYZ monster. So that's wonderful. Next, for the massive hand trap package, we have the 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Yeah, Ash. This card's super good. It stops your opponent from adding cards. You know what it does. It's Ash Blossom. 2 Effect Veiler. This is one of the cards that can be sided out. If I had Ogre, I would definitely have it in the side deck. But definitely put Ogre in the side deck. 2 to 3 would work. If you want to main deck it instead, you go right ahead. That's your deck buddy. I don't have it, but I would love to if I did. Next we have 3 Gamma and the 1 honorary mention of Driver. You have to have Driver to make this live, because you get to special summon the Driver and this from hand, and then from deck, or deck in hand, or from graveyard, whichever. But Gamma and Driver, really good combination. And that is it for our monster lineup. Moving on to the spells, we have 3 Quick Launch, just that way you can make sure you see it, so that way then you can go into your rockets. But Quick Launch is a good thing if you have multiple rockets. Like if you have another one of Tracer, you can just summon another one, regardless, because Quick Launch doesn't have a once per turn effect, which is really good and really solid. Definitely an underrated card. Next, I'm running 3 of Cosmic Cyclone. I always normally end up siding one of them out, depending on the matchup. Like if I'm playing against a Mystic Mine, I don't take it out, I add in some stuff. Cosmic Cyclone is just pretty good. You're not really worrying about life points, and especially with Numeron and Mystic Mine and a lot of Eldritch stuff, you can just banish one of them and then you're just golden for a while. Haha, Golden Lord. Next, a crucial card, very crucial. It should go along with the Time Thief engine and your hand traps. You run 3 Called by the Grave. You don't want to have your regular stopped. If your regular gets stopped, more than likely that's just the end of your turn. Another tech that I'm running is an Instant Fusion. It's only at 1. It's another Yet extender. We run Muddy Mud Dragon, or Mud Dragon of the Swamp, in the extra deck. Just that way we can get to another level 4 in that event that we need it. At the cost of 1,000 life points, not a big deal. And you just get to summon something. And we have another spicy thing in the extra deck with it for some matchups, which I think is a really interesting tech. And what makes me just absolutely love this deck. Moving right along, we have 1 Monster Reborn. Sometimes you don't get the Perpetua, or the Perpetua gets destroyed, and then you don't have the ability to get a Time Thief card back from the graveyard to revive it. Monster Reborn is a really good thing, and it can work as an extender too if you get one of your monsters just completely popped. Actually, hold up. We're done with, that's it for the spells. Next for the traps, we have 1 Time Thief Retrograde. This card pops up. When it's good, it's good. When it's not, it's not. I normally end up just putting it as a material on a card with flyback, but this card's not that bad. Next we have Time Thief Flyback. This card allows you to attach a material, or attach to, This card allows you to attach a Time Thief card from your deck to an XYZ monster you control as material. I believe it has to be a Time Thief monster. Yes, 1 Time Thief monster you control. So generally you're going to go Flyback, attach Flyback to your Redoer, just that way you can make sure it gets a trap and use its trap effect, if anything. Really solid card, and then when it's in the graveyard, you banish it to attach a material from your opponent's graveyard. It can be anything that you want. It can be a spell, trap, monster, whichever. Generally you want to go for spells and traps so you can gain card advantage, and then also just removing problematic monsters on the board. Next, 3 Shade Brigadine. I almost did not think I had a 3rd copy. I was running 2 originally, and then I found one while going through my bulk, so thankfully for that we have the 3 Shade Brigadine. This one's just an extender, so that way you can get Redoer with a trap, because Redoer with a trap is extremely strong, and it makes the card better than it already is. Retrograde, as I mentioned, one of these cards that comes up when it needs to, doesn't come up when it needs to. For the extra deck, which has the most spice in it, I think, we have the Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Good rank 4. That's really all it is. It's just a level 4 monster. That's all I've ended up using it for. It could be good for its effects to change one or a monster to a different attribute, but we're not really running Super Poly at all as much as I want to. I don't have it, and I haven't really seen what can be good to use, other than like the bigger monsters, and what you really side out from the extra deck. Because everything in the extra deck is kind of like helpful, and it's just toolboxy. And I think without one of those, it kind of would be like, oh well, I need that card at the moment, but I don't have it. Whew. What tech that I saw, and I stole the hell out of, is a Thousand Eyes Restrict. Many cards cannot be targeted in this format, but those who can, I will gladly stand with Thousand Eyes Restrict. I love this card. It makes me think of GOAT format. This deck makes me think it's kind of GOAT-like. I don't know why, but it does. It just really draws me to it. So happy. And it can also just, in general, be like a decent floodgate. Onto our XYZ monsters. We have 2 of Time Thief Redoer. This is the guy you want to see most of all. Run a second copy just in case. But normally, if you get that first one out in the field, you should be pretty golden. 1 Time Thief Perpetua. I've seen a lot of people run 1. I wanted to run 2, but there's just other things in the extra deck that I wanted to keep in. I could cut a card in the extra deck coming up for it, but that's not how this is right now. Again, we're testing it out, we're seeing how it goes, and we will change things as we see fit and as the format really changes, because we're very close to the ban that's coming out, so we'll see what has to happen. Light Dragon, Ad Ignister, definitely good protection for your cards. This is not first edition. This and a Redoer, you're just protected. And you have Redoer stuff to get traps and spells and such like that. And Ignister's effect just, oh man, it just saves it. Keeps it safe. We have the Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon for the moment, just to kind of steal out some games if need be. Detaching 2 material to get that really solid. I'm sure when Phantom Rage comes out and that new rank up spell is going to happen, I'm sure this card will have Requiem with it, and you'll be able to go into that more consistently, since it's just like a draw or a discard to get it to move on. Next we have Abyss Dweller, the second card I really go into if I have the means to get to another rank 4, just to stop the opponent from activating effects in the graveyard, which is super strong. 1 Tornado Dragon, a card that I don't really see too much, was kind of hesitant on getting, and I said why not, let's get it. We don't run the Bujinki Link Monster, just I haven't played it, and such, but Tornado Dragon and that equals basically a Twin Twister, because you can detach material to destroy a spell or trap on the field, and the Bujinki, if an XYZ monster detaches its material while it's pointed to, you get to pop another one. Really solid. We got 1 Salamander Almirage for a Link 1 with our normal summon, and then Secure Gardener to go into it afterwards to protect us just that tiny bit more. This is a new card that I've added into the deck. I feel like this card is really solid, really versatile. Definitely is going to be something to think about for this deck. And it's just a Link 1 monster. Or 1 Cyberus Link monster. Next we have Cypher Lord Lambda. I have an OCG version. I bought it that way. Thought it would be cool. I'm not playing any physical events right now. It just adds a gamma to my hand during the end phase of a psychic monster, is banished from the field, and then I can activate Gamma's effect from hand, even if I control monsters. Really solid. For our nightmares, we have 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Definitely feel like these are just the best nightmare cards. Then we have the 1 Topologic Zeraboros, my favorite Link 4 in the game. You're banishing a lot, or some cards, which is pretty decent, and I'm very certain that many meta decks at the moment are also banishing cards. So this guy can just get Chong'en, he can get big, and then he's got the added protection when there's a monster special summon to his own he points to. He gets to destroy the whole field and then bring himself back during the next turn. On to the side deck I have for the moment. So, we have the 1 Veiler, just an extra one if we need it, whatnot. Down a Resto Pancratops in case they have another monster. 2 Twin Twisters to add in with a Cosmic Cyclone if needed, or take out one of the Cosmic Cyclone, or all 3 of them, put in the Twin, and then put in one other card. 2 Darker Lunar More. I would bump it up to 3 if I had a third. And then anti-spell fragrance for a decent going second or side deck cards and such like that. So this is going into it with the mindset of you're winning game 1, your opponent's opting to go first the next turn. You side in Cock-a-doodle-doo. If they have a monster and you do not, you get to special summon it and it becomes a level 4 monster. Just another weird extender. Thought it would be kind of funny and whatnot. 1 Raigeki, because I do not have Lightning Storm. 1 Mind Control, take some monsters. And then 3 of a card that I just found out about, Non-Aggression Area. This card's slow, but I feel like it could be a decent card going forward. You activate during your standby phase, and during the next turn, your opponent cannot special summon, normal summon, set, whatever, with their monsters. They just can't bring out monsters, basically, which is really strong. The only drawback is that it's on your standby phase, and traps are already slow, so you have to go into it saying, I can set it turn 1, or whatever your turn 1 is, hope it doesn't get popped, 4 turns total, 2 of your turns, to be able to wait and activate with this card's effect. But I still feel like it's super strong. There's probably other versions that are better. It's called Summon Limit, or Evenly Matched. And with that, that's the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all took something away from it. Time Thief is just becoming one of my favorite decks, and I'm really glad I'm branching out and playing other things. And this is a very fun way to, help me branch off into that. There's a lot of misplays that can happen, but that's part of learning and all that. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.